Hi, my name is Eric Odum. I'm principal broker for Florida Investment Real Estate in Tampa, Florida, and we're going to complete the second section of our interview with Scott Maurer from Advanta IRA. Appreciate again once again you joining us, Scott.
Sure, anytime.
So why don't we talk a little bit about the operations of the IRA? We talked in the first section about being able to hold an investment property inside of an IRA. Well, let's talk about some of the operational aspects of how this works.
Sure, Eric, a lot of people get confused and think it's a much more complicated process than it is. It's a matter of establishing an IRA account with us here at Advanta and simply then doing a transfer or a rollover from an existing IRA that someone might have with another institution. It's a non-taxable event to move money from one IRA to another. Once the funds are then received here at Advanta, the client just instructs us to make the purchase of the real estate using their IRA, and we certainly work with them all through that process of making sure the title on the deed and ultimately on all the closing documents, et cetera, are handled within the name of the IRA account to make sure that it is included as an asset of their IRA account. That's a way to avoid the taxes for using money in an IRA.
Okay, and so let's talk about the revenue streams and the expenses. How do you handle that?
Our services, I just mentioned, we help an individual from the closing, doing through the closing process. Once that is completed and the real estate is held in the IRA, we then process checks for any expenses you have related to the property. Those should be paid out of the IRA account.
So the air conditioning needs to be repaired, and you guys would write the check?
We write the check. The client sends us the invoice. We just simply then cut a check out to their vendor to have that paid. So any expense, whether it's taxes, insurance, maintenance type issues, et cetera, all will get paid from out of the IRA account. And additionally, then the income generated, the rents coming back in, or profits on a sale of a piece of property, all come back into the IRA tax deferred.
Terrific. And you know, we talked about real estate before we actually went into the interview about that typically that's done with debt, but my understanding is that there's some restrictions on how you would handle debt in an IRA.
Yeah.
In other words, the mortgage, if you want a mortgage on the property.
So yeah, typically most of the closings we see are cash deals, but it is possible if you find a lender that is willing to lend money to your IRA. The only requirement is that the loan from the lender to your IRA be what's called a non-recourse loan, essentially meaning that you're not personally guaranteeing the loan. So the lender lends money to your IRA, and if the IRA ceases to pay back the loan, the only recourse that the lender has at that point is to foreclose.
Foreclosing the property.
Right. So as long as you can get a non-recourse loan to the IRA, you certainly can incorporate financing as part of the plan.
Well, obviously, when you're purchasing, real estate out of an investment vehicle, there could be some cash constraints in how you acquire this, but you had mentioned a unique strategy that you could potentially partner with other people and a couple of different, so if you had a couple of doctors that had $100,000 each in their IRA, they could pull $300,000 or $400,000 together to purchase. Is that accurate?
It is. It's kind of a misconception people have, or they think it's not possible to do. If your IRA doesn't have enough cash to actually cover a particular closing, you can partner with any number of individuals, yourself personally with your personal cash, other people's IRAs, other people's personal cash, and then your IRA just simply owns a portion of the property and shares in the income and expenses based on your IRA's proportion of ownership within that particular property. So partnering is certainly acceptable.
Okay, but just to wrap it up a little bit, is there any other relevant points that you think that somebody needs to consider when doing this type of investment?
I think the main thing is just understanding that when you invest in real estate in an IRA, it does have to be strictly for investment. It cannot be, you cannot use your IRA to buy a vacation home, a principal residence, anything like that. It has to be strictly for investment, that you're either going to buy and hold and rent, buy and possibly do a quick flip and turn on. As long as it's for investment purposes only. That's really the key thing when you're buying real estate in an IRA to understand.
Awesome. Scott, just going to wrap up today. Why don't you just go ahead and tell us how people would get in touch with you if they needed to start one of these?
Sure. I would encourage them to go to our website at www.advantaira.com, or you can certainly reach me directly at 727-581-9853. My extension is 1123, and I'm answer the phone all the time. Just please contact me directly.
Appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today.
You're very welcome.
Obviously, this is a terrific opportunity for those individuals that might have IRA holdings or rollovers from 401ks, and they're looking for a place to have control of their investment, prefer to take some of it out of the stock market or out of the bond market and own a piece of real estate and be able to see the cash flow benefits out of that inside of the IRA and the tax benefits of the tax deferred structure of the IRA or the rollover IRA as it were. But again, if you've got any questions, I'm Eric Odum, Florida Investment Real Estate. You can reach us at our website.